In this video, I'm going to show you how to solve equations by graphing. Now let me make this as a little disclaimer so that you know. When you go to algebra class, a lot of times they're going to want you to show the steps, like you do it by hand. Okay? So you can't just use the calculator to get the answer. They're actually going to want, your teachers are going to want to see those steps out there. But if you're on a test or if you want to check your answer or any of those things, this is a good way to do it because it will give you the answer as long as you know what you're doing. So the title is Solving Equations by Graphing. Here are the steps, and there's a lot of them, so write them down. And they might not make sense now, but as I go through with the calculator with you, they should. Step 1, you're going to put the left side of the equation into y1. It's like that y equals button. Step 2, you're going to put the right side into y2. In step 3, you're going to graph, and you're going to make sure you can see where they cross, where the lines cross. Now, most of the time you'll be able to see that, but if you can't see where the lines cross, you need to zoom out, and I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So if you can't see where the lines cross, you have to zoom out, otherwise it won't work. And then you're going to press these buttons. Second, trace, 5, and then you're going to hit enter 3 times. Second, trace, 5, enter, enter, enter. This is something you're going to be doing, you know, in this unit, we'll do it around Christmas time. I mean, this is to find where 2 lines cross. Okay, so those are your steps. And I'll refer back to these when we're going over the problems. And we're going to go from, we have 4 examples, and it goes from, you know, very easy to much harder. So let's look at some of the examples real quick. Go to example 1. 4x minus 12 equals negative 16. Most of you could figure this out by hand, and you should. I mean, in the math class and algebra, you should be doing this by hand. But I'm just going to show you how to do a simple one in the calculator. So I'm going to try to, you have this on your paper, you're not going to see this here for me. We're going to go to your calculator. Okay, we're at a blank screen. It's going to be hard for you to see my buttons because I'm so far away, but you're going to go up here to the y equals button, like you have it in algebra. Y equals is right there, so click it. And as you can see, there's y1, y2, y3, there's a bunch of them. Well, your notes say put the left side into y1. What I mean by left side is, you know how you normally draw an equal sign down the equal, or a line down the equal sign? You create 2 different sides? Well, this is the left side. So we're going to put 4x minus 12 into y1. So I'm going to type that out, 4x minus 12. Okay, it's right there. And then in y2, we're just going to go down, we're going to put the right side, which is negative 16. So I'm going to go over here and type in negative 16. Okay, that's all you got to do. And then the third step, if you look at your notes, is to hit graph. Graph is this button right here. So I'm going to hit graph. And we're going to see the lines come up. And do you see how I only see 1 line right now? That's not good. I need to see 2 lines and where they cross. So how you zoom out, and I want you to write these steps down, is you see right here this middle button. It's going to be so blurry for you, I'm sorry. This middle button right here says zoom. Look at your calculator. That middle button says zoom. You're going to click it, and you'll see that option 3 says zoom out. Okay, so you can scroll down to option 3, or I'm just going to actually hit 3 on my calculator down here. Hit 3, zoom out, and then it'll do absolutely nothing. And you're going to be like, what's going on? Okay, so you're zooming out, you just hit enter right down here, hit enter once. Hit enter, and you'll see that it'll actually zoom out for you. And now, do you see where the 2 lines cross? You have to be able to see that in order to do this. Okay, so now that we can see the 2 lines cross, if you look at the steps, we're going to second, trace, 5, enter, enter, enter. So, second's your blue button. Second. Trace is right here next to graph. Okay, that's trace right up there. Look at your calculator, you'll be able to see it. Trace. And you want option 5, intersect, because you want to see where those lines cross, where they're equal. So we're going to hit 5, and then we're going to hit enter 3 times. Enter, enter, enter. And your answer is whatever x is, because you're solving for x, right? Very blurry for you, but on your calculator, you'll be able to see that says x equals negative 1. And that's the correct answer. So I'm just going to go ahead and put over here to that problem, x equals negative 1. And that's right. I could show you how to do it by hand. You'd add 12 to this side, you'd divide by 4, and you'd still come up with the right answer. Okay? But that's the calculator doing it for you. So, let's do number 2. Write it down. It's harder. 12x minus 7 equals 6x plus 23. Go ahead and write it down. And then we're going to go back to our calculator. I'm going to go back to y equals, and I need to get rid of all this stuff. So I'm just going to go down here and hit clear, and it'll clear out everything. So I want a clear thing. And if you want to, I'm going to do it right now. When you change the zoom, it'll change it forever. So if you want to clear the memory of your calculator, second plus 712, it'll get rid of that zoom so you don't have to worry about it for the next problem. Okay? So I'm going to go back to y equals. Here's my problem. I'm going to put the left side, this, into y1, and that's into y2. So 12x minus 7. I know it's hard. Oh, see, I forgot my x. Don't do that. 12x minus 7. And 6x plus 23. Okay. Double check, make sure they look the same. Yep, we're all good. So we're going to go to graph and see if we can see where they cross. There's one line and there's the other line. Obviously, I cannot see where those lines cross. So I'm going to go to zoom. I'm going to go to 3. And I'm going to hit enter. And hard to tell, but they cross right up there. So I'm going to do my steps. Second, which is right over here. Second, trace. I'm going to go to 5. Enter, enter, enter. And you'll see that the x value, it's very hard to see, so look in your calculator, x is 5. And that is correct. X equals 5. I just wrote that down. X equals 5. Okay? So it's a pretty foolproof way to do it as long as you know what you're doing. Now, some of those you'd be able to do on your own. But let's look at a harder one. Look at this problem. We'd have to distribute, we'd have to combine like terms, you know, all those steps that you're going to learn in algebra. But I'm going to show you how to do it in the calculator. So I'm going to go ahead and clear my memory. Second plus 712 just to get it back to normal. Remember, this goes in y1 and this goes in y2. Type it exactly like this with the parentheses and everything. So I'm going to go to y equals. Type in 6 parentheses 3x plus 1. Just like it looks on my paper. Go down to y2. Type in 2 parentheses 5x plus 7. So it looks just like it. Make sure you're doing this in the calculator with me. Okay? And then we go to graph. See if we can see where they cross. I can almost see where they cross. That's close enough. Let's see if we can do it without zooming out. So let's do second trace 5. Oops, sorry. 5. Enter, enter, enter. Yep, it was close enough. I can see it. If you, like for example, if they didn't cross and you did that, it would say error. So you'd have to go back and zoom in. But it's hard to see, but it says intersection x equals 1. And that's correct. X equals 1. So I didn't have to distribute, I didn't have to combine like terms, I just put it in the calculator. But remember, in algebra, you might have to show those, or you are going to have to show those steps, so it's not to replace. Now, last one, it's a very big problem. Whew, look at that. 6x plus 2 parentheses 3 minus 4x equals blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's a huge problem. To do this by hand would be very difficult, but yet again, the calculator does it for you. So I'm going to clear my memory. Second plus 712. Clear the memory, goes away, go to y equals, and I'm going to type it in. So 6x plus 2 parentheses 3 minus 4x. It's a lot of stuff there, so make sure you wrote it down in the beginning. Go to y2, 2 parentheses 3x plus 7 minus 5x. Okay? I'm not trying to say something, but you might have a problem this complex on your test. Okay, that difficult. But if you know the calculator, it's not hard at all. You just have to know the buttons. Okay, so I put everything in just like it looks. Make sure that this is a minus 5, not a negative 5. Okay, and this is a minus 4, not a negative 4. Be careful with that. Okay, so I'm going to go to graph, see if I can see where they cross. I have that line and that line. Oh, you can almost see where they cross. I'm going to zoom out just in case. So zoom 3. And then I'm going to make sure you hit enter. It'll zoom out a little bit for us. And now I can definitely see where those two lines cross. And then I will do second trace 5. Enter, enter, enter. And I get a decimal. X equals -2. So I'll write it down here. -2.66 repeating. Put that over there. I know this. because I'm a math teacher, but that's just -2 2/3, because 0.666 is just 2/3. But either answer would work for you. And there you go. The bad thing is you can't math enter to turn that into a fraction. You just kind of have to know. But if you gave me that, that would be fine. Okay? Now, extra credit, if you have time today. If you are able to work this problem out step by step by hand, put it in the tray, I'll give you some extra credit if it's correct. Okay? So go ahead and go to the assignments folder. We're not doing Khan Academy today. Go to the assignments folder, like where your warm-ups are in your notes videos, and look for the assignment for solving equations by graphing. And I want you to do that on your own piece of paper, and when you're done, turn it into the tray. If you have questions, just ask me. Some of you have to ask me next class, and some of you can ask me because I'll be here.